Top 12 Ugliest Fan Moments in Sports History. Hello everyone and welcome back to my new video. Fans play an important role in sports. They fill stadiums and arenas with energy and sometimes even impact the outcome of games. But when fans become the story in a sporting event, it's a good bet that something has gone wrong. The results can range from the bizarre to the farcical to the tragic. Whether it's violence, rioting, streaking, or just being a bit overzealous, bad things happen when fans steal the spotlight. These are the most infamous fan incidents in sports history. 1. Tear gas, firebombs, and a Greek soccer riot. What happened? Fan violence forced the cancellation of a soccer match between Greek football powers Panathinaikos and Olympiakos. Bottom line, European soccer violence goes back generations and, unfortunately, has carried over to the present day. In March, Greek soccer fans attacked players, unleashed firebombs, and prompted police to deploy tear gas to restore order. Tear gas fumes wafted into the stadium and burned the eyes of fans and players alike, finally forcing officials to call the match. "It's tragic," said one player. "I cannot explain it." 2. Penalty box mayhem at Flyers game. What happened? When a fan heckling Toronto Maple Leafs player Ty Domi shattered the glass to the penalty box, the fists started flying. Bottom line, hockey players exchanging punches during games is nothing new, but the incident between middle-aged Flyers fan Chris Falcone and Ty Domi in 2001 was out of the ordinary, to say the least. The confrontation started when Domi started spraying the taunting fan with a water bottle over the penalty box glass. When the fan decided to reach over the glass in an effort to take a swing at Domi, the window gave way, and chaos ensued. Years later, any hard feelings between the two had vanished, and they reunited on a morning radio show. "You're a great guy and a family guy, and I'm happy everything is behind us," Domi said. "You too, man," said Falcone. 3. The play. Sport. Football. Date, November 20th, 1982. Venue, Memorial Stadium, Berkeley, California. What happened? The Stanford band and other spectators poured onto the field thinking the big game between Cal and Stanford was over. It was not. Bottom line, this play is the most memorable, most bizarre play in the history of college football. With no time on the clock, Cal football players completed 5 laterals on the final play of the game and navigated through the Stanford defense, band members, and other spectators who had streamed onto the field to score the winning touchdown. The band and spectators thought a Cal player had been tackled at midfield and had come onto the field to celebrate. It was the Bears doing the celebrating moments later. 4. Detroit Tigers Championship Riot. Sport. Baseball. Date, October 14, 1984. Venue, City of Detroit. What happened? Widespread riots broke out after the Detroit Tigers won the World Series over the San Diego Padres, leaving 1 person dead and dozens injured. Bottom line, Detroit's history of rioting continued when an estimated 100,000 people showed up to celebrate the Tigers' World Series championship. The rioting generated international attention as well as an iconic photo of a fan, Kenneth "Bubba" Helms, posing with a Tigers pennant in front of an overturned police vehicle that had been set on fire. The notoriety Helms achieved for the incident haunted him the rest of his life. 5. Not a garden variety NBA final. What happened? Boston Celtics fans poured onto the court, and one attacked a referee during the team's triple overtime win over the Phoenix Suns in Game 5 of the NBA Finals at the Garden. Bottom line, the bedlam began when fans thought the game was over after John Havlicek hit the go-ahead shot in the waning seconds of the second overtime. But the referees ruled that there were still 2 seconds left on the clock, sparking fury on the part of fans, including one who assaulted referee Richie Powers. Phoenix's Gar Hurd tied the game at the buzzer, forcing a third overtime. But the Celtics prevailed, and the angry fans went home happy. 6. Bloody Sunday and the Hail Mary. Sport. Football. Date, December 28, 1975. Venue, Metropolitan Stadium, Bloomington, Minnesota. What happened? After the Dallas Cowboys beat the Minnesota Vikings in a playoff game with the legendary Hail Mary, Vikings fans turned violent, and a whiskey bottle thrown from the stands gashed an official in the head. Bottom line, this game is best remembered for Roger Staubach's game-winning Hail Mary pass to Drew Pearson in the closing seconds. But another lasting image was official Armin Terzian lying sprawled on the field with a gash to his head from the thrown whiskey bottle from fans who were livid over what they felt was a blown call on the play. He wasn't seriously injured, and the Vikings posted a $5,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of the culprit. "It's a rotten shame, Sen," Hubert Humphrey said after the game as he consoled Terzian. "It's a rotten shame that it had to happen out there." 7. Dog pounds bite matches its bark. Sport. Football. Date, October 1st, 1989. Venue, Cleveland Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio. What happened? Fans from Cleveland's infamous dog pound pelted Denver Broncos quarterback John Elway with milk bones and batteries, prompting officials to assess a 15-yard penalty and force the teams to switch ends of the field. Bottom line, NFL fans have a long history of harassing opposing teams, especially when they're backed up against their own end zone. But the Browns' dog pound took things to a whole new level during this 1989 game against the hated Broncos. The situation got so out of control that officials took the drastic action of ordering the teams to switch end zones. It wasn't the last time the dog pound let their animal instincts take over. In 1995, officials ordered another end zone switch in a game against the Jaguars. 9. The Tom Gamboa attack. Sport, baseball. Date, September 19, 2002. Venue, U.S. Cellular Field, Chicago, Illinois. What happened? A 34-year-old fan and his 15-year-old son attacked Kansas City Royals first base coach Tom Gamboa during a game against the White Sox, leaving him with permanent hearing damage. Bottom line, in one of the most disturbing incidents of fan violence in baseball history, the shirtless father and son team jumped onto the field and pummeled the 54-year-old Royals coach in the ninth inning. Royals players quickly intervened, but not before Gamboa suffered hearing damage. After 2003, he never again coached in the major leagues. The culprits, William Lee Jr., and his son claimed that Gamboa was taunting them throughout the game, something the coach denied. Not surprisingly, the leagues have had more run-ins with the law in the years since. 10. Port Said Stadium disaster. Sport, soccer. Date, February 1, 2012. Venue, Port Said Stadium, Port Said, Egypt. What happened? A riot followed an Egyptian Premier League soccer match and left 74 people dead and more than 500 injured. Bottom line, fans celebrating Al Masri's win over Al Ahly stormed the pitch and began assaulting opposing fans with clubs, stones, bottles, and fireworks. Many Al Ahly fans were trapped inside the stadium's closed gate and died in a stampede. Multiple defendants were sentenced to death as a result of the riots, and Egypt canceled the league for 2 years. 11. Malice at the Palace. Sport, basketball. Date, November 19, 2004. Venue, Palace of Auburn Hills, Michigan. What happened? A melee erupted between players and fans during an NBA game between the Detroit Pistons and Indiana Pacers. Bottom line, some consider the Malice at the Palace the most infamous fight in American sports history. It started with less than a minute left in the game. A foul call led to a shoving match between the Pacers' Ron Artest and Pistons' Ben Wallace, and a fight involving multiple players, with Artest lying on the scorer's table after the fight was broken up. A fan threw a drink at him, prompting Artest to charge into the stands. At that point, all hell broke loose as a full-scale brawl erupted between fans and players that lasted for several minutes and spilled from the stands onto the court. In the end, 5 players were charged with assault, and the NBA took steps to increase security and limit the sale of alcohol at games. 12. Steve Bartman. What happened? With the Cubs on the verge of clinching their first World Series trip since 1945, fan Steve Bartman reached over the railing and interfered with Cubs outfielder Moises Alou as he tried to catch a foul ball. The Marlins rallied from a 3-08 inning deficit to win the game and, eventually, the National League Championship Series. Bottom line, perhaps the most infamous moment in the Cubs' long history of infamy, Steve Bartman was blamed for costing the Cubs the series and a chance to end the team's World Series curse. Fans hurled insults and debris at Bartman, requiring security to escort him from the stadium, and 6 police cars were reportedly summoned to protect his home. The Illinois governor suggested that he enter a witness protection program, and Bartman was offered asylum in Florida. In the end, all was forgiven when the Cubs ended the curse in 2016, and the team presented Bartman a World Series ring. This is all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, and if you are new, then don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the future updates. See you till the next video. Thank you for watching.